So you really want to drive your shoulders back into the pad back here, and you really want to puff your chest out and make sure you're only using your chest. So retract the shoulder blades, and it's almost like a press and a fly at the same time. And you don't have to touch up here because then you lose activation. So you just go right here. Flies are really all about the stretch. So when it comes to any muscle group, make sure you're getting a really good stretch and a squeeze. But when it comes to these, you could go and touch your chest, or you could go a couple inches above it, whatever is more comfortable with your shoulder. You don't have to trust your chest on these. And when you come all the way up, make sure you don't lock out your elbow 100%. You want to go up to about 80, 90% range and keep the weight all in the chest. Whew. Yeah, it was a good set. I mean, I usually, if I had a spot, I go a little heavier here, but 225 is a good weight for me. You want to get around. The sweet spot for me is 8 to 12 reps, and that last rep you should be fighting for. All right, next we have a cable fly variation. Now it's a good change of pace because a lot of people do it downward, but this way we're going to do upward. I know you've seen me do it in the other videos, but just like I said before, it's all about hitting the muscle at different angles, and you want to get a couple different fly variations in your chest routine. And I like this because I feel it in the outer upper part of my pec. Yeah, there's something about coming upward in that angle. I feel it in the outer upper part of my pec, which is great because you want to get the whole muscle always. The cool thing about this one is it slightly converges in, even though it may not look like it. And then when it comes to chest presses, you always want to have a converging chest press because that's going to help you get an extra contraction, activate the middle part of your chest. Another good one where the stretch is really deep, but it's hard to get that first rep up. Here we got a flat plate-loaded machine chest press. Now, when it comes to all your chest press movements, you want to retract your shoulder blades and puff your chest out. And when you come up, don't fully lock out. Come up to where it's only hitting the chest only, and make sure to put all the weight on your chest. Whew. Yeah, this machine is good because you get a really good stretch. When it comes to training and exercise in general, they say the stretch position is the most important part. That was a fine chest day. Can't complain. Great pump as always. I like to keep my chest days, half presses, half flies. So I think in this video there's 3 presses, 3 flies. I didn't record my warm up, which is just pec deck fly. I did that before incline barbell. So I always recommend you pre-exhaust your chest day with seated pec fly. And you don't have to go too heavy. I mean, you could warm up and then go heavier, but I like to do, like 3, 4 warm up sets, and then I go to my incline barbell or a heavy press. But yeah, those plate loaded chest press machines, man, and if you could get one that slightly converges in for your chest, when you could do a converging chest press, contraction is just, it's night and day. It's way better. I know the ones today didn't really converge that much. There's other pieces of equipment that exaggerate it way more, but every chest day should have a converging chest press machine, even if it's just a little bit, like it was today. I don't know. I don't even know if it's exactly a converging press, but I felt to go in a little bit, which helped me flex my pec more. Another warm up I like to do on any upper body day, and I do them on leg day, is so dead hangs on the pull-up bar, where you just hang on the pull-up bar. You don't do a pull-up. You just hang there with all your weight. It would actually stretch out your shoulder joint and alleviate any pressure on your shoulders. So they said dead hangs are some of the healthiest things you could do for your shoulders. So I definitely recommend dead hangs. You could do it in the morning, night, pre-workout, post-workout, as long as you're doing them on a daily basis. And watch your shoulders just magically heal up. And if that doesn't work, you could always message me. I have a special pillow I use to where it kind of tucks your arm in, and it gives you a pad right here, so there's no pressure on your shoulder, because I'm a side sleeper. And I initially had shoulder problems because I was sleeping on them on my side, and they were getting numb at night, no blood flow. So make sure you're sleeping correctly. They say sleeping on your back is the best. I actually don't know what they say about side sleeping, but that's just the way I'm most comfortable. But I sleep all over the place. Back, stomach, side. I'm rolling around, so I do it all, man. Yeah, but the only issue on chest day alone, chest day, I think chest and legs are the only days you really need a spot. Well, only time you need a spot on a chest press is on a barbell. If you can't get it up, it's on a dumbbell you could just ditch, or a machine you could ditch, but barbell you'll be stuck under. Same thing with squats, like a barbell squat, or depending on the hack squat, if it goes all the way down. You definitely need a spot. Back in my heyday, I would have a training partner, and I would go to failure, and then we would get 2 to 3 force reps where he's spotting me after. I definitely recommend that's how you train for every body part always. Go to failure, and then have your training partner help you get in a couple force reps after you go to failure. And before you know it, you'll be getting more reps on your heavy lifts. Now, when it comes to chest training, it's all about retracting the shoulder blade, puffing your chest out, and then making it all chest movement. So you really want to eliminate the shoulders, triceps. And that took years for me to really truly figure out and feel it 100%. I would say probably 5 years. But once you do that, man, your chest development will go through the roof. Because once you're able to actually work out and stimulate and exhaust the muscles, you're going to get so much better results. Because in reality, you're coming in here and you're just pumping your muscle up with blood. And then you're going to fuel it after, in the grand scheme of things. So you want to come in here, be able to stimulate and pump that muscle up with blood, and then you want to get out of here and fuel up. But yeah, speaking of that, I'm going to finish up my cardio here, and I will see you in the car. So we'll cut there. Okay. Man. Something about those Friday nights, man. Empty gym. Well, I come late at night just so I can film when it's empty. I just feel a lot better getting content when it's basically an empty gym. Chest is, it's all presses and flies if you really think about it. And honestly, you can make an argument that flies may be more important. I mean, depending on your form and whatever you're able to get a good stretch on, that stretch, man. You know what I might start doing? Pausing in the stretch, or pausing in the negative, pausing on the positive and the contraction, and just really emphasizing that, that vulnerable state you are in when you're all in the stretch. That's where it's taxing the muscle the most. And when you keep stretching the muscle like that, you're giving it no other choice but to expand and get larger. The more you stretch it out, the more blood flow room it's going to have, and it's going to be able to get bigger and get more pumped. So the stretch is the stretch is key, man. And that's why I always say, you don't have to go all the way up to where you're locking out your elbow, because then you take the weight off your chest, and you want to. Oh man, it's a car accident. And you want to keep the weight on your chest, but instead of going all the way up, it's more important to go all the way down in a press fly. And honestly, that's not just chest, man. I think that's everything. The stretch is way more important. And you could go to, there's a lot of exercise scientists and stuff like that, and they always preach the stretch, man. I don't know if you guys know Mike Rishotel, but the team full ROM, range of motion, that's in right now, and it's scientifically proven that the larger the stretch, the better outcome you're possibly going to have. And it makes a lot of sense too, man. Because if you get that muscle used to that stress position, when you pump it with blood, it's just gonna be bigger and bigger. But I don't know if I'm gonna take off tomorrow. I'm on schedule for back. I just did legs and then chest. I had arms, rest, and then legs and then chest. So knowing me, I'll probably train tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if I took off. I really have to see how I feel in the morning. But every chest day, I'm smoked, man. Chest always gets me. That 225 incline. That 225 incline makes me sore. I know it's not a lot of weight. It doesn't seem anything crazy, but it almost guarantees my chest being sore the next day. But, I'm not just clinging and banging the weight. I'm actually putting that weight on the chest, and I'm using mainly the chest to push it up. Yeah, I could go heavier. I could probably do 275. I've done 315 on incline before, but I'm not going to attempt that unless I have a spot, and that's only for a few reps. But I could probably do 275 for 5-6 reps, but there's really no point. What's the risk and reward? I mean, 225 is heavy enough weight, especially if you're putting it all on the muscle and you're not using your whole body to contract it, man. But yeah, this is the Friday night, the week before the Olympia. We got the Olympia next week. Got all the competitors in town, and whew, everyone's gonna be here. And I don't know what I'm doing yet. I've talked to one friend who's coming, but as you know, everyone's gonna be here in the fitness industry. Huge expo. The Olympia's sold out, and they're reselling tickets for like double the price. I would go. It's not about the money, but I just don't really have anyone to go with. It's kind of hard to find someone to go to a bodybuilding show with. Believe it or not. I mean, it's probably not hard to believe, but that's why I haven't. I've been to the expo. The expo is always fun to go to. But the actual competition itself, man, it's hard to find someone to go to that. But, I'm on that Mike Menser vibe where I go until that peak pump, and then I try to get out of there and start fueling the body again. And honestly, I feel great. I'm responding really well to a lower volume kind of training because I've done high volume my whole life. I basically overtrained my whole life. And I've just started incorporating low volume, and I feel fresher, more muscle fullness, better pump, stronger, and I look better, but I don't get to go to the gym as much. But hey, it could be worse. Well, some people would love to be able to respond to low volume. Some people would love to respond to high volume and go every day. But I'm not complaining. I may incorporate fasted cardio again though in my routine, but I don't know yet. We will see. But yeah, we are at the light going into my place. Was a good chest day. I hope you could get a couple golden nuggets out of that. The converging chest press, man, major key. But we have back tomorrow. I'll most likely be going, but if I'm too sore, I will take off. And I will see you for the next video, guys. So good night. Peace.